Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, welcome. Can I introduce our favourite auntie, Matilda House.
Thank you very much, Gordon. Once again, what a wonderful time we're having. Always with the Rural Health, the National Rural Health Alliance. And I really, really appreciate the care and the kindness that they give, not only to myself, but to people out there who need them very, very badly. And for you, the workers, and you three guys, you look suspicious to me. I heard you from the ABS. That's good. Because, you know, we don't get nothing done unless we got that stats, do we? And it's wonderful to know, taking the time out to come to something like this. It has to be made. Instead of sitting around explaining things all the time, that you're there to know from the people who are sitting behind you the wonderful work what they do to make sure that remoteness is never forgotten. I'm an Ungari woman of Ngunnawal speaking Walgaloo. I have 4 children, 12 grandchildren, and some of you who've been to my presentations before. I've finally cracked it with 5 great-grandchildren, and absolutely adore them all. And I adore all my nieces and nephews, and I speak for them, and I speak for the ancestors, and I also speak for this beautiful country in which we all share, not only here, but all around Australia, that desperately needs the things that needs to be done. And government knows we all need these things, but you know, it's all right. They come to the party eventually. But any politicians here today? No. But they're all sitting in Parliament, darling. They're doing what the best they can for this country. And let's hope they keep on doing it. Because the places that we're talking about today really deserves the input that's coming from this place here today. So, you know, people who live in remote communities. I also sit on a few boards. One of those boards is the Aboriginal Legal Service in New South Wales, ACT. And I just happened, some of the board members were out the other day, and we happened to run into Gordon, wonderful man. Those who don't know Gordon, there he is sitting here. But we discussed a lot of things about the remoteness of Aboriginal communities. And some of those remoteness communities, well, the majority of them, don't have the benefits of walking in straight into a doctor's surgery, straight into a chemist shop, or straight into a hospital. So, you know, the things that are really bursting at the seams for a real health and well-being is something that all of Australians have got to take a hand in. And I say this because I also do a lot of work for HIV and all around Australia actually, but we all meet up from time to time, but every year we have our conference on that, but we have it with Aboriginal people, and they're transgenders. sister girls and brother boys and that. And some of them, when they're just been naughty, they get out of jail, they just don't know where to go to for the help that they need for those sicknesses that they have. And sometimes they get refused when they go into the local towns to get help and for their medication. So everybody has a life to live, and we in communities always must make sure that people of those genders and others will be looked after. I visit a lot of people and juveniles in these detentions and also jails, and they all come from remote communities. When they get out, they've got nowhere to go, but they have a lot of chronic illnesses as well. So, you know, I'm just telling you the bottom of the rung of the ladder of Aboriginal people who really need care and to be looked at not as a government statistic or whatever, but to make sure that people they can be looked after. You're on this beautiful land of my great-grandfather, who's known as Black Harry, and he was born and bred here. And along with him and his camp, they lived out on the Murrumbidgee River, out at Tharwa. And I often go out there to visit some of the places where they camped and looked after country. Because looking after country through Aboriginal people's eyes means that our health too doesn't suffer. And that's a good way of Aboriginal people, when they go back into country, that they can do these things and make sure that their lives are being taken care of by their communities as well. We can't all sit around and wait for what's ever going to happen with governments. But if a community sticks together as families, as most of them can do, then we'll proceed to make a better place for our children, great-grandchildren, and all those things that need to be looked after. Any visitors from overseas? Doesn't matter. Eventually, sometime or other, you all came from overseas, but you came with good intentions. And that's what I always say to people. I never judge people on the things what the past was, because we have moved on so far into the lives of every part of Australia, and that's what this rural health has done. And if anybody wants to knock anything about Australia and what we can do for ourselves, really, you're disgusting. But don't knock the people that are out there trying to do the best they can, and yous are all here, your bums are all on these seats. So take care of yourselves, because while you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of me. And that's the way that Australia is. We have different things in our communities now through some of the, other things that are coming into Australia with the health and the bugs that comes in, but rural health was always there. And I want to thank Leanne and Gordon all the time, and all the staff there in Deakin, for taking care of the things that needs to be done right through this place. Is there anyone else that wants to be mentioned to be special? These are all special, especially these three guys, because they're going to take back all this information. So speak up, all you lot, because it's through them that, funding will always be made accountable, and it'll be done through the transparency of what they hear today. I want to thank you for asking me here today for the Royal Health to welcome you all into this beautiful country of my ancestors, and to always pay respects to each other, as we always do. So thank you, and I'm just going to dash out and have a cup of coffee while someone else takes over this mic, but I want to thank you all for being here today to support a wonderful organisation, and a national body organisation, and to keep our heads all above water, that we can always get on and be what we are today, good and proper Australians. Thank you very much.
The ABS is getting very special attention today, which is good. Matilda, thank you so much again for being with us. Can I ask you all to join with me in thanking Matilda again, please?